German last name. I told you in the break I'm going to have a tough time. I hope I did okay by you.
You did a great job.
Let's
Thanks
talk
for having me.
First, I just want to get your reaction to, we were in that live report from Madison Allworth talking about the president today laying out that framework for AI. Basically, they want federal regulation because you've got New York and California. They want to regulate AI. They've got their own plans. The president is saying that's not what I want to do, and they finally gave us details today. What is your reaction to that?
I mean, the stance of the Trump administration favors competition and also innovation over regulation. And I think that's a great thing for the financial sector. And the reason is that I do believe regulation is important if it's needed. And historically, AI was just not good enough. It was not transparent, so you needed regulation. I am actually against regulation if it's not needed anymore. And what happened in the last couple of months is that AI actually performs better now than humans in very complex tasks. And this actually now allows to go down with regulation, so it's the right thing to do.
Understood. I think that, I think some regulation might make some of the lawmakers and maybe some of the American public a little more comfortable. But I'm going to get to the lobster stuff in a second because it did go viral and it was great. But I want to talk about Tactile in general because what you want to do is you want to replace financial advisors. There's a whole regulatory framework here that we're talking about. Can you safely do that with AI? I mean, we're talking about job displacement, to be clear. But when you're dealing with financial products and services, is there a concern?
If you would have asked me the question 2 years ago, I think the answer would have been very different. But 2026 will be the year where AI will come to financial services. And the reason is, also the reason for what we're going to talk about later, the Lobster launch is by now, the AI is so good that if you measure it against the performance of humans, it is, for the first time, better. And that's why I actually feel, and what we see with benchmarks in our customers, that AI is now actually is ready for Wall Street and for banking.
Well, if you talk to people that are in the law field, medical field, the analysis that AI gives you is incredible. And I would think that the research that you could get in the financial services sector would be incredible with AI. I mean, that's already happening. But I was Mickey Bowman, Michelle Bowman from the Fed. She was on this morning on Fox Business, and she said, "I'm not hearing from businesses that they're going to be replacing workers with AI right now." That's what she said. It's a discussion of augmenting the productivity of workers and that are existing in the labor force. So AI is a tool alongside these employees. You have a different take on that, I know.
If you are in the industry and you talk to banks, there's a spectrum. And the spectrum goes from, banks come to us and they ask us, how can we build the AI bank of the future? Which means a completely agentic bank without any humans in there. And on the other side, on the spectrum, you have banks that exactly do what you just mentioned, which is actually supercharging the teams and combining teams and collaborating them with AI agents. I think by now the technology is at a stage where banks have to answer that question to themselves.
Real quick before you go, we got to show the lobster. So you put this gigantic 300-pound lobster, this is obviously a nod to Molten Book, next to the bull statue on Wall Street. You didn't even get permission for this. You just put it up there with no permits by the city. Real quick, why did you do this?
So the lobster has become the symbol for very autonomous and strong agents that, however, more move fast move and break things kind of attitude. And this is exactly not what financial services needs. So we wanted to spark the discussion, have the charging bull actually looking at the lobster and see how do people react, which is the AI. And we had people talking about from all angles. And then the reason why we wanted to spark the discussion is because we brought in Tactile Labs, which should answer the question if AI is actually ready for banks to deploy AI safely.
Mike, quite the stunt, went viral. Congratulations. Thanks for being here.